No, he dives over onto a ward, gets blown up immediately. So do we think he should go back to that Lee Sin? Is that still a good pick, or should he look for something else right now?
Yeah, I think he can still play the Lee Sin. I thought it was really good, and he just got a little fancy. Like he predicted the Syndra flash, and then the next one he was like, I got this guy. I'm in his head.
I'm in my groove.
It's actually funny because
like, Mom, get the camera.
well, when I
Your mom, LOL.
when I watched that play where he tried, I think it was E forward is who he was chasing at that moment. I actually think that he thought E forward was going to be better than he was. Legitimately, it's one of those things where if you're going to try to predict somebody's flash, you have to be like, okay, he's going to react at this level, right?
Sure.
Like he's gonna flash that way, right?
Yeah.
You kind of like go for the read, and I think he was kind of overthinking it. He was like, oh, he's gonna go towards his team, and he went away from his team, and he was like, wait, what? Like, wait a second.
So what I'm hearing is he played himself, basically.
Yeah, he basically he overestimated his opponent, and kind of
it was in the title. E forward.
He predicted him to do like the optimal thing, right?
Okay.
It's that type of thing. It happens in the jungle a lot too, where you predict them to do the optimal thing in terms of your jungle route, and it's when they don't, you're kind of like, I can't read this guy. Like, I guess I'm just gonna like overpower him.
How am I gonna know what he's doing if he's not doing the most efficient thing? But let's take a look and hone in here on the drafts for Game 2. San Francisco now on the blue side, San Diego on the red side. They grab Ornn Taric as their first 2 picks.
Yeah, Ornn makes a lot of sense. It was actually banned away from San Diego in the first game from San Fran on the red side. Makes through this time, makes all the way around. Taric is an interesting one. It's not a pick that really battles for lane dominance unless you pair it with the Ezreal or the Lucian, but it gives you such that amazing ultimate if you can time it correctly in those later stages. I'm thinking like those dragon fights too. When somebody jumps in, if you're able to immediately go ahead and pop the Taric ulti, that plays out way differently and way easier for the side. And speaking of the combos you can pair it with, Ezreal going to get locked in from San Diego's side.
E4, going back to that Ezreal, and I like the Taric into that Nautilus as well. Nautilus is at the depth charge. You have some time as the Taric to press your R and allow that to start taking effect while the depth charge is traveling to its target, especially if it's something like an Ezreal that has a disengage option. So I'm also just a big Taric player myself, so I like the champion. But San Francisco, going back to a tried and true classic, they get the Kai'Sa Nautilus. We've seen this played all year in 2019 as one of the premier bot lanes. The synergy is just so innate. You throw out CC from the Nautilus, Kai'Sa could follow up easy peasy.
Yeah, and I want to see what the team fighting comes out here for both teams, because you're looking at a little bit of pick. They're looking at the Kai'Sa, doing a decent amount of damage and consistency versus what the Heimer had before. So I think that's really important for San Francisco as a changeup. But the Lee Sin has been banned away here. San Diego don't want to deal with that. But what are they going to pick for themselves? Because they have a Taric, which signals to me they want a team fight. The Ornn, same thing.
Yeah, I was about to say, actually, the Gragas was picked up. It's realistically the last of, like, the super top tier jungles. I think we're going to dive a little bit deeper into the pools because you're seeing, Rek'Sai, Olaf, J4, and Lee Sin banned away. Olaf picked away. And jungle still yet. Oh my gosh, yes.
They're not locking it in. There's no
It's
way.
ranged now.
You think they're putting Mahiro, the superstar Lee Sin jungler, on Ivern?
1000%.
1000%. It's going to be the Elise instead.
Must be a bug.
So they can be a little more aggressive.
Literally.
So a lot of AP damage coming in from San Francisco's side as well. They get the Mordekaiser, they get the Elise. I wonder what they're going to round out their damage composition with.
They're looking for a blind pick in the mid lane. Syndra's not terrible
Or
here.
top, depending on what the
Or top,
is.
you're right. It's flexible. Okay, yeah, just on top. That is a terrifying top lane. Because now you have 2 champions that both want a tower dive, you in the Kled and the Elise. Still gonna have to battle for priority of the lane away from the Olaf, which should be the safety net for them. But if that lane starts losing, it loses hard.
Yeah, and it is still a little flexible, but I assume it is picked into the Ornn as a matchup that can be potentially good for them. And there it is.
That Rise.
Okay, I was talking about how I'm like, oh,
you were looking for it. Yeah, like you wanted to see it.
Yeah, I was like, we see Cassio ban, Vladimir ban, and I'm like, where's Rise pick? Like,
how do you feel about Jabberjay's on it? Syndra was available, didn't want to go for it, instead taking this Rise. Do you think
feels good, man.
Feels good?
Feels good.
Just had a great performance in that last game. If you can replicate that in this game too, on a champion like Rise, similar where you have an incredible impact on the game, whether it's your team fight or now the option to also even look for 1v1s in a side lane.
Yeah, I think it's a really good idea to have the Rise be for Jabberjay, and I hope that he is good on this champion because it is very skill cap dependent, Very much so. Like you can wave clear and you can constantly just kind of cycle abilities on people. I think he's up to the task still from what I saw.
And when I look at a Mordekaiser, they're ulting a Rise into there. Who's strapped in with who? Because the Rise is going to get so many more rotations of those spells off, especially if you're later in the game when you have your CDR, when you have all that mana available to you. So I'm curious what San Francisco's plan is going to be here when it comes to that mid lane and who that Mordekaiser is going to target with those ultimates. But we got to talk about predictions next. I'm confident with the San Diego still. I mean, they did performed very well in the mid to late stages of that game number 1, and I think that they have a composition that could definitely play around that same style.
The thing is I based on the last game, I would go San Diego.
Okay.
But for some reason, I'm gonna go San Diego.
Okay. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm looking to San Francisco going. I can see it really snowballing, but off that last game, it looked like if they make 1 or 2 mistakes, and that's very easy to do. Typically, you'll make 1 or 2 mistakes every game. You won't be able to like come back from that. So San Francisco, their comp looks better this game, but I'm gonna go with San Diego and hope kind of for a game 3 to see more, because San Francisco, I think I haven't seen exactly what they bring to the table.
Yeah, if they said that their losses are from throws,
Yeah.
it's hard to argue that isn't exactly what happened last game. But Return, what do you think?
I think I like not only that the draft got better, but for San Francisco, but I like the fact that it's more focused towards the lanes this time. Elise, of course, very strong pick, but I feel like now it forces Miro to play around the lanes, the diving potential with the Kled, the Mordekaiser in the mid lane should be a good shove, and also now that the bottom lane, they are not just playing with a Heimerdinger, this lane doesn't exist kind of lane. Really does think that I think this is going to be the game that San Fran pushes us to 1-1. I even want to predict that I think they're going to take the whole series with a 2-1 reverse sweep. However, we're just asking for game 1, so San Fran for this game.
We'll see if you double down on that
after
a potential game 3 draft, but we'll see what happens there. We're ready to load in onto the Rift, though, to see who will take this game to San Diego at match point to make their way to the finals. San Francisco Return's calling it already. They could make the reverse sweep happen, but we'll find out shortly as teams are ready to fan out on Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, I'm not calling it just yet. I just hope for a game 3 so I can understand a little bit more about San Francisco, because from what I've heard and what I had seen in game 1, it's like I think they aren't living up to their full potential.
Right.
And look, it is a Kled mid.
Okay.
Oh.
So yeah,
Look at that.
Yeah.
I like the matchup a bit more. I was really excited seeing the Kled plus the Elise because it's double dive potential. Realistically, you only need 1 to get those going, and I think that Mord can wrestle away the lane a lot easier, especially at the 1 item mark, than the Kled can into the Ornn, and then Kled straight into Rise. You should be having a dominant lane when you're able to close the distance, and then Elise comes as well. I like the solo lanes a lot more, and like I said, it's going to be on Miro to really impact those lanes, to actually get there, to set up the ganks, and give control to his laners.
We'll see if Mihiro can do just that on this Elise. Diving the Rise also potentially a little easier. Squishier champion than that Ornn would be, but still, Rise in the early game can struggle to clear out those waves, but once you get a couple items on you, you have a very, very strong wave clear, so it could be hard to get a push as this Kled onto Jabberjays. You're the melee versus ranged matchup, and also could be struggling in that wave department, but also ability to affect side lanes, going up, going down, helping out elsewhere around the Rift with that charge. It's pretty much a global ultimate when you use it from the mid lane, or close to it.
Exactly. Yeah, the Kled mid does give you the extra flexibility. I personally used to actually try out the Kled support, and it's a similar idea. You put Moby Boots on him, and you just literally have a roaming tower dive machine.
Oh, so a chain feeder.
It's
exactly.
It's the dark
right.
technology
you
of
take
North
TP,
America's,
You take TP as support, because if you get knocked off his mount, you're actually useless in the lane. But if you don't do that, it's free money. But this is a little bit more...
And he says my Teemo support is troll.
Hold on. Teemo top is a bit troll from you recently, but the bigger thing I have to think, though, like, I like San Francisco's comp, but I think San Diego still has a lot of ability to play through this game. Their scaling is fantastic. You get those super late game, well, the mid to late game of Rise, the mid game spike of Ezreal, plus the extra Ornn items. And even just the ease of these team fights for San Diego is a lot more straightforward. You Ornn ult in, when you get into the damage, throw in the Cleric ultimate, and kite around.
See what the Elise does right now, because if he checks the Gragas, he's actually going to find him
down a level.
Oh.
I think
wait.
Avocado will hit level 3 right off of this, yeah.
Oh, it's like...
Oh, not quite. Oh, there
it is, yeah.
Is there... Hey, 1 stolen away.
Plus 8 gold, baby.
Yeah, that's that 1 CS advantage shown right there. But return to go back to your point. You mentioned the late game scaling of the side of San Diego, but you left out one of the most key champions in the Taric. Taric Ultimate in the late game can really single-handedly win a team fight right there.
True. Yeah, I think it was like, yeah, you're right. I didn't quite mention the Taric. The Taric himself, you don't think of him as late game scaler, but you're right. That Ultimate, when you're in team fights are in the late game, so you turn team fights, you're probably good in the late game too. But yeah, the laning phase, it's going to be interesting how they play it through, but if they're able to line up all that, and that comes down really to the ease of execution of these team fights, San Diego does have an innate advantage there if San Francisco does not build up a massive lead beforehand.
Yeah, I think they want to bully. Exactly, yeah. Yep.
We see Jabber Jays getting an early push on that mid lane. To be expected, I think, in the range matchup, but now play around the jungle here. Oh! First blood over to Mahiro. They catch out Awkward Avocado.
And that was really smart to let the Nautilus go first, because initially I was thinking, oh, he's going to throw the Elise Cocoon. Letting Nautilus goes first, guarantees the Cocoon, guarantees the kill, and that's how you do it. Avocado is going to be under a lot of pressure this game, because if he starts to fall behind, you lose your one safety valve that keeps Elise out of this game.
Yep, and Elise is now going to get both scuttles plus that first blood, and he's going to start snowballing. And what he should be doing here is going into the enemy jungle and basically just looking for Gragas, because we talked about the early game of San Francisco. They have good wave clear with both the Nautilus and the Kaisa on the bottom side. They have good wave clear on the top side, so you can play to pretty much any quadrant of the jungle. And it seems like Ryze at this point in the game is still a little scared of the Kled. So you can literally go to any lane, go to any part of the jungle, and your laners should be able to help you out.
They might be looking for this top lane. They throw out the Cocoon.
Get it before you can buy an item.
Trying to shut down that item purchase, and we also see Flo. He was roaming up there, but decides to go back to that mid lane. Mahiro can stick around. They could
nothing to save him.
Look to dive here. Yeah, he's got the flash available.
Oh,
How would he want to play this out here? The turn's being tanked by K-Pulsar, and it's a trade of kills.
Why?
Yeah, so the thing with Elise is she can reset towers. If you ignore her ability to reset towers, she is not as good at tower dive.
We'll get back to that. Avocado's here. They burst down full for free.
They're going to go for kills.
Avocado trying to take down Spirit Tracks, but Spirit Tracks just does so much damage. And 2 to the side of San Francisco.
Press the attack plus Kaisa passive is a hell of a damage spike that is completely just unrespected there. E forward going to be the first one.
No. Oh, predicts it. Flash forward by Flo, trying to get under the turret, and it's easy peasy for San Francisco. Back to back plays.
That's how you tower dive. You let the person with the reset go first.
They both have resets.
Well, exactly. You can't lose.
It's a rigged test.
Are there 5 tower dive?
Punishable offense.
Are there like 5 different champions who can all tank towers like that?
Probably, yeah.
I think that's a team you put together. You can't possibly be wrong on the tower dive.
And then everyone takes teleport.
Genius.
Yeah.
5 top laners, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, there's like, what, Fizz, Elise, Kled, Vladimir.
Yeah.
And just got it.
Man, I'm really struggling.
There's definitely.
I think you could throw in like
another one that I just can't think of at the moment.
Twitch chat will let us know if you can think of a 5th one.
I literally thought.
Is it anyone with an untargetable would be?
Yeah, there's a few.
Akali used to be, but not anymore. But back to the game at hand, we see a 2.5 thousand gold advantage to San Francisco.
Oh, Rek'Sai.
Right.
Yeah.
There's
There's actually a lot. Rek'Sai, Echo. Yeah, Twitch is saying Echo, Maokai. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of champions that can do it. Zach.
Ooh, with the passive.
Was the other one?
Are we still on this? Is this?
I think
we want to figure them all out.
San Francisco's Game 3 comp. If they win.
Yeah.
San Francisco or San Diego? Because it could be San Diego trying to clap back, like, oh, they had too much dive potential on us.
I'm getting a Pantheon question mark from our back room.
I mean,
I mean, the shield, does that count? You gotta block the turret.
Well, yeah, good for diving. I think the R is a little bit too long to.
Yeah, it doesn't count as a reset fully. Yeah.
Anyway, 3 kills.
We ready to talk about this?
Yes.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
3 kills from a hero. Pretty massive. And he's already got his completed jungle item. He has so many stats.
Oh, and now another play onto the mid lane. No flash. Easy kill onto Jabberjays.
We talked about Jabberjays being a big part of how they actually won the last game. So now they're like, all right, you know what? We're just going to keep engaging on him, keep fighting him. When his flash is down, you're just going to keep going. And it's pretty crazy.
This is 3,000 gold and soon to be an Infernal Drake here for San Francisco right now. A complete point. Well, I guess they were still winning the early game last time, but it was not to this extent by a long shot. So they're feeling great as they're looking to extend this series to a full 3 games.
Yeah, and if you're looking to speedrun a game, like I think San Francisco is really looking towards, Dragon's always the best way to do it. Fire Drake's going to be #1, but not enough time because 2v3 in the mid tower.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Awkward Avocado already taken down. Woo. Make it 2, and there's the reset of the turret aggro from a hero. That's what we're looking for, as San Francisco are just making play after play, and San Diego cannot keep up.
They're angry. It seems like it's less of a, they're tilted off that last game, and it's more like they're really upset about that last one. They're like, all right, you know what we threw. Yep. Now, even though they missed the cocoon, it doesn't matter. They just have so many pick champions, so much dive potential.
Right.
And they're abusing it.
And all that gold is going into the laners. There's going to be more than one threat next time around, and it's looking scarier and scarier, and I think that the rest of the map is basically next up on the table. I mean, you're talking about a game now where you can get 2 Herald, all the dragons you could possibly want. Mountain Drake is going to be up next, meaning we get either a Wind Rift and Dragon or a Ocean Rift and Dragon. Both, I think, would be pretty happily accepted by the San Fran side, but it is now a PvE game of how many objectives can you take while you still have the lead.
They got that Dragon. Rift Herald would be the next objective for them to look at, and Mahiro's got a 2-level lead over Awkward Avocado.
Yeah, and now he has spell penetration. And the bottom side of the map, you look at just the item disadvantage that Ezreal has now. Down 800 gold, but he hasn't spent a lot of it. And it's just tier 2 BF sword with a dagger behind it. So there's a lot more damage on the side of Spirit Tracks.
Seems like San Francisco have put themselves in a very, very comfortable position as they look to control this early game. Maybe more than control, maybe just dominate. They're making another play at the championship. Doesn't even need the Elise.
Doesn't even get assists.
What? Is that legal? Someone's got to like get a restraining order on.
Him getting arrested for it, so.
Yeah, we got to get some. Trundle's not in this game.
Wait a second.
Police again, but here's another play. Mahiro. Go the burst! I gotta take a shower after this game.
And there's only one Infernal Dragon in their pockets this time.
All right, are they gonna juggle the aggro correctly this time around? It looks like yes, Mahiro is able to take him down. Okay, Bolzer will take a few turret shots, but nothing he can't shrug off. This is 11-1 and a 7K gold lead at 10 minutes into the game. Now they're trying to make a play. 2v2 on the bot side. Double knockout comes in for Kaga, but can they actually get anything for this? FUD does not want to flash forward aggressively.
He's available.
Yeah, Spirit Tracks still up, still has summoners for the Kaisa, so not really in that dangerous of a position.
Yeah, just has to land more of those Qs because the Kaisa damage is just much higher. And are they going to go for another? Kled ultimate is up, so as soon as he gets a few more...
once he remounts.
Yeah, once he remounts.
Got to imagine that that is a play they can make. Look at the turret mid.
Got to kill 4 more.
2 plays left.
2, 3.
This might give it.
4,
there we go. He's got it. Mahiro's there.
And
Flash is available for Mahiro. They could do this under tower, or you just kill the Gragas.
Yeah, there's the Gragas. Body slams over the wall back to safety. But Mahiro's still there.
Yep.
They're looking. They're hunting.
He's going to go to the left side and then ulti. He's going to go slightly to the left and then ulti.
Flow's going to walk back. He's going to ult right now. There's the charge going forward. Jabberjays has flash this time around. Charge doesn't actually last. Mahiro with the flash. Cocoon bits. Get Jabberjays turret. The answer is unfortunate.
Zoning Cocoon.
It doesn't even matter. You can. They're like, I don't need this ability. Goodbye. I'm taking the turret. Like, everybody's just like, woo.
It did take Mahiro's flash, but they get Jabberjay's flash in response. So yeah,
I don't need this flash. I don't need that cocoon.
Remember last game when Jabberjays was 5-0?
I do.
This is a different game.
This is a different game.
This is actually like
whoa.
Sanguine Blade.
Sanguine Blade.
Sanguine Blade.
Yeah, Flo is going to do a lot of damage in these 1v1s for sure. It was hot fixed. This is not the disgustingly broken Sanguine Blade that first came out, but it's still very
It's
strong.
still pretty. You don't want to look at it. That's kind of level we're at. It's not like you need to like wash your eyes out afterwards, but maybe like a brisk, like a little handy wipe maybe.
Yeah. It's like wipe the forehead, wipe the brow.
And the thing with Sanguine Blade is it's when
no.
somebody else...
Oh, no.
Wait, what? He just flashed. I didn't even know he was there.
I think the Elise was stalking him.
Flo was like, no, this one's my
Sick him, boy.
Yeah.
Avocado. I think Avocado is still level 5.
God.
I believe so.
This poor he's 6 now.
6, okay.
Zyrene, when you said it before that it feels like San Francisco is mad, I think that there's a lot of truth to that one. They are playing crazy right now, so aggressive, so up in the face, and this is the Kled that you want to see. It's not the passive Kled into the Ornn matchup, it's the aggressive Kled into the Rise, and I am just loving the fact that they did go for that lane swap.
Yeah, and one thing I want to mention about the Sanguine Blade is it indicates a very clear what they want to do, because Sanguine Blade is active when there is one or less opponents. So it's not your allies. You can have like 3 people. As long as you're like 3v1 in somebody, you'll still get it. But you'll also have those bonus stats when you are like farming, when you're in the jungle, because it's 1 or fewer enemy champions.
So I see the counter is just keep Avocado literally on top of Rise, and he can never get it.
Yes.
Well,
so they can die together.
I don't need. I was gonna say.
Slower.
I don't know if that stops the death from coming through. The hook misses onto Awkward Avocado, but where are you gonna go? Body slams over the wall.
Away.
This jungle is property of University of San Francisco.
But yeah, Sanguine Blade pulls the enemy jungle to you, and if they don't, you're just a turret destroyer.
Yeah, as we see right there. Turret's already down. Mahiro's able to take out 2 camps, 30 CS up. That's like 5 to 7 camps, somewhere in that range, depending on how much lane CS he's got.
I want to watch this Kled attack minion waves with how quickly he would attack. That's the thing that I'm looking for in this game. Like that's the part I want to see. Go get it. Go get it.
All right, let's see this. Let's see the attack speed. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, wait a minute. Yeah. I've been more impressed, Zyrene.
He's waiting.
He even missed the cannon.
He's scaling. It scales
right when
level,
you highlight somebody.
Doesn't even need the cannon. Oh, yo, look at Chill. Top lane. Somebody's under a tower.
Yeah. Could be in a fight right now. Your mom in the 1v1. Awkward Avocado's here. Like, okay, I guess I'll help out. Maybe I want to go for it now, but the charge coming through. Your mom in trouble. Mahiro knocked under the turret. Can he take him down? Yes, he does. Awkward Avocado can flash to safety, but look at the bot side. Trade of kills, AD carry for support, but Jabberjay's completed the teleport, can't flash onto Spirit Tracks, and Spirit Tracks had flash anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a hard one to watch right there. Unfortunately, USD not able to get anything for that teleport.
No, nothing at all, and
yeah, it's pretty fast. That wasn't even with passive. I like that.
Happened near bot lane. Somehow, Kaga21
gets stunned.
Dies.
Oh. Kaga might fight under turret. Maybe they go for a dive. He just takes 2 turret shots. And I'm assuming there'll be a WQ here to take him down. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Wow. That was actually a really close fight. Happy that the spectators allowed us to go check that out, as Mahiro is able to take that top Rift Herald there.
If that's the first Rift Herald of the game, there's not actually going to be time for the second one to spawn.
I think that was the first, yeah.
They've been busy killing people.
Yeah,
they got other things on their plate right now, Return.
A second Herald, 10k gold. Which one do we choose?
10k gold at 16 minutes.
Yeah, they're averaging
Might be
quite
good. Well, I mean, we just saw the slowest game, or longest game that we had ever seen on this patch.
This might be the quickest.
This one might be pretty damn quick.
Okay, so the second you say that, now you're looking at actually like the 7 Drake game again.
Yeah, you know, now Jabberjay got that Rod of Ages completed, gonna be stacking. It's scale for the late game here for San Diego.
I mean, they aren't scaling for the early game, I'll tell you that much.
I feel like they're scaling for next game's draft at this point. They got to be thinking, what were the issues?
I think those flowers are a bush.
They are meant to be
I think it is a visual bug.
Yeah. There's no bush there.
I mean feature.
Visual feature. It's one of those happy little actions.
Wait. Does he go?
Do you know Bob Ross?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I do.
Okay, good.
I have a Bob Ross figurine.
Really?
Yeah.
But you don't have a Thomas Kincaid figurine. What does that say about your priorities? He's really
Will we find out who that is by the end of the broadcast?
Oh, you don't either? Ah, all right. That's fine. I'm sure somebody's Googled it by now and shared with the rest of class. But back to the game. I feel like we have to remind ourselves that there's a game of League of Legends going on right now, as this feels more like, I don't know, just champion farming simulator. Yeah. I don't even know what to call it at this point. San Francisco came back with a vengeance after losing that game 1. It would still be a 3-game series.
Yeah.
If
Speed run.
It's like the opposite of a tower defense game.
Speed run time.
Yeah.
game's done quick.
Opposite of a tower defense game, huh?
Yeah, like
A tower
balloon
attack
tower
game?
balloon defense.
Destroying towers?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I feel like that could be a game. Maybe
I
that should
think
be
it
a
is a
mobile
game.
game.
Mobile.
Maybe you could get an eSports.
Mobile games, you say?
I'm just describing Clash Royale right now.
No, Clash Royale is where you put like 5,000 units down and all of them just get demolished.
All right, well,
What's that?
we're not talking about those games. We're talking about League of Legends right now. We're talking about the domination of San Francisco, pushing all these turrets. 5 have fallen already. They're just trying to take down this bottom turret as the last mid-tier. And, I mean, K-Pulsar, 1 and 2, hasn't been part of a lot of these kills, but still has just been getting a sizable advantage in that 1v1.
Yeah, when the Mordekaiser, who's just finishing his Leandres plus the Rylai's, is the weakest member of your team, that is a good problem to have.
Yeah.
From the side of USF.
2 items completed at pre-20 minutes, too.
Yeah, that's a big yikes for me, Doug, from San Diego's side. I'm trying to like theory craft out now what is the play that brings San Diego back, and I don't think I can really settle on anything else than like a player disconnecting.
Well, remember this. Mahiro said it himself. When San Francisco has lost, it is usually that they give a game away. Let's think about this. Just hear me out.
I mean,
I was like, are you
Yeah,
done?
that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I got. I was hoping one of you would step in and kind of fill in that.
Well, when someone
that
says "hear me
silence.
out," that means
Oh,
quiet
really? That's what that
talking
means?
now.
Well,
I mean,
Fair enough.
now hear me out.
fair enough. Hear me out. There's a team fight going on. Awkward Avocado far forward. There's the Tarek ultimate coming down. Will it be enough to keep E Forward alive? He isn't actually in it, but now the cooldown's down. The team fight's still going, and Buffer Free barely lives through that. Oh, Gaga also barely living. That was actually a pretty close fight.
Yeah, surprisingly close, especially since your mom wasn't there. No teleport to actually arrive and cast the ultimate, so that actually could have been very different.
Yeah, Jabberjay's also not there, but regardless of how the team fight went, it is objective secured by San Francisco. They pretty much have free reign over all the dragons at this point in the game.
yeah, and that's going to be the third dragon, so they now have 1 fire, 1 mountain, 1 ocean under the belt. They get 1 more ocean, they get the ocean soul, which gives them even more HP, especially when they're going to go poke. And then it turns into Elder Dragon, and especially with a comp that has so much dive potential, and you're getting some sporadic damage, maybe not finishing the kills, that's really going to be a big boom. But other things that may help is you got a Baron on this side.
Yes, Baron is what they need to look at next, and now they're going after Awkward Avocado. They've been attacking him pretty much the whole game. He's still 3 levels down, and they don't have that catch-up EXP, so he's going to stay down. And I expect with the Kaisa items coming through that there should be a Baron as the next thing that happens in this game.
Without that catch-up XP, so hard for Awkward Avocado. Mahiro is even tied in level to the highest ranked, or highest level champion on the enemy team, being the Ornn. When you're ahead of the Rise, that's when you know that things have really gotten out of hand here. But still back to farming for Mahiro. Completed 2 items, going towards potentially that Morellonomicon. Always difficult to know if players want to finish it or not, or if they're just taking that magic penetration. But regardless, you're getting that magic penetration right now. You're going for the Baron, and meanwhile, the enemy team is making a play on the bot side, trying to get onto K-Pulsar. Awkward Avocado, that was a beautiful explosive cast. K-Pulsar should go down. I don't think the ult's going to last out long enough. Can he take down Avocado? Just barely not. So they knew the Baron was forfeit. They take the kill instead.
It's very, very close, but now it's going to be a 4v5. But San Francisco, are they going to continue reaching for this? Because this is where they could get caught with their hands in the cookie jar.
Right. San Diego's very uniquely adept to playing the defensive game. You have 2 tanks on the front line. Gragas has disengage ultimate, and you have the Tarek with the ultimate to keep you alive. The only way that San Francisco realistically takes one of these inhibitors is either with a split push or a dive. Split push may be a little bit more straightforward. A dive is going to be incredibly complex. Or you just
fall for free, walks too far forward and gets punished for it. It's hard to watch right there. I was going to say San Diego, even though they don't have the initiating ults from the Gragas or the Ornn, they could still do something like Rise ult the tanks onto the backline and try and just create chaos. But K-Pulsar's now up, has the teleport. It's now a 4-man defense here, so turrets are going to keep falling. There's nothing that they can do. They don't have the wave clear at this point of the game to deal with these Baron minions.
No, they don't have the wave clear. They don't really have team fight. The only thing they have is disengage and a dream. I mean, Ornn items do exist. You have champions that, strictly speaking, scale, but it is just holding out that long and trying to find someone to really take back this game. Triforce on Ezreal will at least be a good step in that direction. If you can stall out just for a little bit longer, some items keep getting completed, it gets easier and easier, but it is still by no means a simple task.
It's going to come down to, again, misplays from San Francisco. They're going to have to go.
That's how you win the game.
It's the mental warfare from your mom.
So they were telling me between games that your mom is actually friends with pretty much everybody on the side of San Francisco as well as their coach. So yeah, your mom is really friendly with pretty much everybody that's in this game.
Your mom is indeed, as Flo takes down the bottom turret on the inhibitor. These inhibitor turrets should fall left and right. Oh, there's my hero, actually. Gets dazzled. Oh, the damage is barely not enough. Can this Forge God take him out? Oh, the ram barely off its mark. Mahiro does get out.
I feel like the comms at this point for San Diego just like, Spider, get the Spider, Spider. Stop with the Spider.
Smash it, smash.
Hello?
Oh, all to your way.
Just in case, you know, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know if they're in that bush right there, if they all teleported in, but charge.
Well, he was getting chased
Rise
a
ulti,
little.
maybe. I don't know. Like,
yeah, sure, there you go. Yeah, the Rise ult, there, I like that one.
I got you. Don't
Yeah,
you
they all want to reset right now. They have the Baron, it's coming off, and then there's that 4th dragon that's spawning in a minute. So it's the reset right before that comes up.
Yeah, and realistically, like, when Dragon goes down, then you're on the timer for Elder Dragon, and you can just finish out the game from there. Honestly, everything considered, San Diego is actually in a decent spot on that last push. The fact that they only lose one inhibitor tower, considering what they could have lost, is good. The problem is, that good performance doesn't quite get them too far back in the game, but does still keep at least some windows open.
Yeah, they were able to defend against a Baron push and a 15k gold disadvantage, and only lost that one inhibitor turret. So when you put it in that perspective, you're like, yeah, good job. Great job, everybody. But what's that next step to get back into the game? They weren't even able to get that shutdown onto Mahiro, who is worth the full bounty amount right now. 700 gold plus the 300 for the normal kill. So,
and this will help them close the game out because they'll be sieging, and it'll give them that regen.
The poke from Ezreal really won't do anything at this point with that Ocean Drake coming through. Has completed the Trinity Force, and Ornn has upgraded it, so maybe E-Ford can get some miracle poke down, or just a beautiful play dropping that damage, but we don't even have the Seraphs stacked up fully on Jabberjay, so this Rise not even at a big power spike at this point in the game. They just got to stall it out as long as they can. Oh, there's the Cocoon over the wall. This could be it right now. They want to take the full team fight. I don't think they're committing to it. Kaisa doesn't want to actually ult that hard.
No.
See, that's one of those plays where you're like, that's how we get back in the game. Is bait the Kaisa in, but bottom inhibitor will fall. Oh, is it going down? It might actually not. Can they engage in? Spear Tracks actually jumps forward straight into members that are Taric ulted, but the explosive cast knocks him to safety. Call the Forge God doesn't do anything, and the charge from Flo should turn the fight. It's San Francisco running through San Diego, taking revenge for what happened in game number one. But can they survive under turret? Your mom has to flash away. They can juggle the turret aggro. It's just the Rise left alive, and even Jabberjays will fall. San Francisco with a quadra kill to Flo will take game 2.
They strike back, and honestly, in a huge fashion, 21-5 at 26 minutes, almost 27, and they're just going to take this Nexus, even us up, and go to game number 3.
Yeah, San Francisco seemed angry right there. You said it yourselves, Irene. After what happened in that game 1, the longest game that we've seen on this patch, San Francisco clapped back in dramatic fashion and absolutely decimate their opponents.
And that's kind of what I was expecting from them in game 1. That's why I was so hesitant when I was making my predictions. Is I'm like, I think they're way better than this from what we saw, but it just felt like they mis-executed, but I wasn't quite sure if they had overperformed or if they had underperformed, right, when they started making mistakes. So it seems like it's a bit of a characteristic of this team is that they are very full of themselves and they could easily snowball a game, but they could also easily mess it up on themselves.
And it definitely was their game to throw. And also thank you, Zyrene, for keeping my 100% success
You're welcome.
prediction when my analysts disagree, because you did agree with me on the San Diego vote, so we're wrong in that together. But now to send it over to Returned, who can talk more about how San Francisco was able to get that lead to begin with.
Yeah, thank you, guys. But I'm going to be honest, there's not that much more to see. It was a series of events, that just chain of dominoes, really, that started off from the early game. So let's look ahead at that first domino here, early play. This is actually just the first blood, and how University of San Francisco was able to set up the first blood and turn that into just the entire game rolling over. Well, Elise is one of those champions where if you have lanes or if you have any kind of advantage, you get that first successful gank, it is so easy to revisit time and time again. And as we play this out, you can see one of the key aspects that led to this early kill. First of all, there is a ward right here that is not known about. Awkward Avocado walks straight into it, has no idea. If you check out this bottom side of the map, it is completely dark, even both sides of the map. So there's basically zero information on where this Elise is right now. And then the execution, as you can play it on forward, is just really smart, really concise, letting Nautilus go in first, get that CC, get the lockdown, and transitioning straight into the first kill just leads to absolute pandemonium. It leads to mid lane, it leads to top lane, it leads to bottom lane, and it leads to just everything falling out by the end. If San Francisco want to have a competition this one in next game, San Diego has to be way more respectful with where Miro is and how easy it is to snowball some of those lanes, because this game, San Francisco got everything they want. Back to you guys on the desk.
It really did feel like that was the play that got Mahiro that first blood, got that lead, and they just never let go of that lead from that point. So I'm happy that that's the one that Returned decided to highlight, because Awkward Avocado just was not tracking where Mahiro was.
Oh, it was very hard for him to. It's still early in the game, and I think it was just the scuttle crab had been taken after the route had been done. And I think that this match is going to become very early game focused, because that's the way that San Francisco is playing. And if you're focused on the late game, every game has an early game, but it's not guaranteed to have a late game. So drafting for the late game, you're drafting for something that may not even happen in the game. Whereas if you draft for early game, you will always be in control of that factor of the game and get to experience where your champion is strong. If you mess it up, then that's on you. But drafting for that and not waiting for your opponents to kind of draft into you with like late game, I think is important. And I think that that's where San Diego should go with their draft, is start drafting earlier game champions, because they pretty much lost all three lanes in pressure. That loses and seeds their jungle, and then they pretty much have no way back into the game, save for major flops.
So maybe answering fire with fire from San Diego, as it were, in this Game 3 draft. With that being said, we want to remind everyone to make sure that you join in on the Grubhub Cast and Chat Showdown Challenge. This is the final time to vote, as after this game, we get to eat all this delicious food, so make sure you vote, and also use the coupon code, or follow the link below to get your $12 off your order of 15 or more, so you can join us in eating some delicious Grubhub. That's only $3 for a lunch. Come on, you got to join in and get some of that with us. We'll see if San Diego is able to bring us back in Game 3, or San Francisco will continue their momentum.